Okay, so I've been asked several times, especially by Samurai at the BeamNG forums, to record a installation video for my graphics mod Alternative Lighting. So it's finally happening. We start up with a clean BeamNG.drive install, because whether or not you think your BeamNG.drive installation is fine or okay from the last updates, and I've been the victim of that several times, it usually isn't. There's probably something that didn't update correctly, so I always start with a fresh installation. So we're just gonna check out some different time of day, see how the lighting is out the box. I chosen the rally course at the industrial map. So you see, time of day is 12. I'm just gonna scroll on. I really think BeamNG.drive has good lighting out the box, but for some reason I can't leave things as they are. And for some reason I also went to check out what I can do in the graphics department. Okay, so this is how it looks out the box. And now we're gonna change to the new folder with the user files for BeamNG.drive is. So you get it under C users, your username. Mine was created when I was like a kid, so it's well, you can see it right there. AppData Local BeamNG.drive and the current BeamNG.drive version, which is 0.22.1.0. And now you need to go to the download link on the BeamNG.drive forums, mods and skins subforum, and the alternative lighting thread. It's the part 2 thread, because the first one got too old. I've been doing this for years now. For some reason I can't stop. So imagine you've done that and you've downloaded the al12.zip, and you can place it wherever you want. It's just a normal zip, but I've, for the convenience, put it in this folder. So what you do now is you can right click it and open in a new window, so you can see the files in there. So these are the files. This one contains the different sun and shadow dash ambient gradient files. This one contains just a copy of this one, but for future references. So this one isn't used. Here's the few changes I made to the different levels. It's just small changes, but small adaptations for each and every BeamNG.drive update that comes. So I changed the brightness, I changed the size of the flares. In this case I only use one sun flare, and a few other small changes. And in this one you find the big thing, and that's the tone map changes. And this specific one, I'm using the code from one called Aces Fit, or just it's a quicker version of the Aces tone map, which is used by most game engines, and it's a very good one. And this is it's one that has been sped up, so it doesn't have all the fancy calculations, but it's a good fit. And last one is the post-FX preset. So what you do now is you just move these files or extract them into that folder. There we go. And the only thing that is needed now, because I seldom use the BeamNG.drive. I forgot to close BeamNG. I seldom use BeamNG.drive's clear cache, because it does more than what I need it to do. So for that reason, I usually just delete this one. In 0.22, the BeamNG devs moved the user files to this location for the convenience and future usage. I just assume it's a good thing, because I usually do good things. And it used to be named cache, but now it's just named temp. So in this one, it's the files that BeamNG.drive creates the first time you start it. So after you've extracted these files into this folder, you simply delete the temp folder, like so. And then you just start BeamNG.drive again. And you can see it instantly creates a temp folder. So there's a few things. Not all of you, or most of you, won't have some of these options. So what can be needed if you don't have them is you go to user interface and you make sure you've enabled advanced functions. So when you've done that, you move back to graphics, you go down here, and you make sure these are all checked. Light Race does really big things when working together with the light flare. So I usually use this one. It's a bit heavy, so if you don't have a new great computer, then it will probably lower your FPS the most from all of these settings. And then you open the PostFX manager. You can see I clicked it there, and you load the preset, which was in the AL12 zip file. You do that, hit save, main menu, and we're going to open the same rallycross course as we began with. And now you can see it's loading in everything again. It's because we deleted that temp folder. And there we go. So I think we began with 12 o'clock lighting last time, and it's kind of hard to get the midday lighting good unless you use functions as eye adaptation, so it creates brightness for a second or two and then depths, and I don't have those kind of effects. We're just gonna go through the different times of day here. So what I usually do in this mod is I increase the brightness throughout the day apart from the big tone map change. And this is because I like the crisp colors in morning, so you get brighter, less dull lighting. I like a bright sky. Go through a bit more. See if I can hit the correct time. Okay, there we go. So for some reason I really like this time of day. Okay, it's a bit bright sky compared to the very dark ground. That can be adjusted. I just didn't do it now. I might just brighten the ground up slightly, but I for some reason like this one. I like the contrast. So that's it. Now it's working. Another thing I usually do is for all the cars, unless they are using a matte clear coat or matte paintwork, I increase the chrominess or reflection on the car, because I think it's a bit low, and what happens if it's too low, in my opinion, is that it loses detail when it's in ambient lighting, when it's in shadows. So of course you can't have it set as high as so that it becomes a mirror, but you know, you'll find your perfect spot. But in the shadows you'll gain some detail if you increase the chrominess. Okay, so that's it. That's the way to install AL12 and probably the upcoming ones. Now, one thing it's missing, it's bloom in this version, and I'm assuming the BeamNG devs are hard at work as usual, and they're doing some things with the graphics engine or rendering, obviously, because otherwise bloom would work. And I'm glad to see what they come up with next. So thank you for watching this vid, and hope it works for you, and if it doesn't, hit me up at the forums and I'll try and sort it out. Thank you.